Dear learners, I welcome you again the part B, one of the most fascinating area in the forensic science, such as the forensic evidences collection from the crime scene, like collection, preservation, documentation, transportation of evidences from the crime scene, and how the forensic evidences or applicability in the court of law based on the forensic legal knowledge, and what are the methods and procedures are following by the investigating officers in the crime scene. I hope this module will be the highly insightful and fascinating to the learners. Thank you. Dear learners, I welcome back to the part B, the legal aspects of forensic evidence. I hope you can enjoy and learn about the part A video regarding on the basic fundamentals of the forensic science and also the forensic evidences, how the forensic science and evidences link with other disciplines, and what are the major 7 principles that follows in the forensic science and evidences. This particular e-module is mainly focused on the technical, highly technical and scientific oriented. The two major thing is the collection and preservation of the evidences from the crime scene by the investigating officer or forensic experts once they receive the compliance or get the information from the police officers. This directly deals about the field. So here you can see there is a linkage diagram. So the forensic officer or the forensic knowledge, we must understand about how the evidences collected from the crime scene and what are the things you must be understand before you can study about the forensic uh, evidences collect from the crime scene. First, we understand about the recognition. That means recognize or identify the exact and particular evidences, the link with the crime and the documentation process. Next, there is a collection process. And finally, there's a preservation process. This core process is important for the forensic evidences starting from the crime scene. Based on that, there is a linkage diagram here. Starting from the victim. So victim, we can understand maybe it may be available in the crime scene or not may be available in the crime scene. So the victim is one of the important source we can understand in the crime scene. So victim linked with the crime scene, and another one is there is a based on the victim and the crime scene, we can identify and recognize the evidence. And the evidence we once we collect, so we can look on the suspect. So this core linkaging diagram, you can understand there is a linkaging aspect. The victim, the crime scene, and the evidence and suspect. So mainly work on the evidence basis. We are collecting the crime scene from the any evidences, it will be matched, it will be linked. So this diagram shows a roadmap and idea for the understanding about the forensic evidences, how it links with. The next we can see about the context of the from the crime, that means from the crime scene. So there's a lot of people are integrated with work, starting from the investigating officer, who can collect documentation here, then they have to interrogate and collection of evidences, and further investigation, it will be sent to the lab, then finally it will be matched and examined, if need any autopsies. So there is a long process after that time in the forensic evidences. So here you can see the procedures in the field. First one is a crime scene, the starting point of any investigation. The next one is there is a crucial task for the four major aspects about the collection, documentation, preservation, and transportation and submission of physical evidence to the forensic laboratories. And the maintenance of chain of custody is a vital procedure. So here I can show the documentation of the crime scene. It's a broad area for the explanation. Now, I make it as a brief context about the documenting the crime scene. Documenting the crime scene is a three major contests. One is a videotaping the crime scene, photography in the crime scene, and crime scene sketching. Here you can see there's a photograph, maybe there's a lot of a long shot or a near shot, different angle from the all the position, any evidences is there, we locate and photograph. It's the most important documentation in the crime scene. And there is a videography after sketching. You maybe take the videography, what position is body is there. There is a long videography shot and what are the evidences appear in the rooms, any bloods scattered, any blood appearance is there, any tools or weapons used in the crime scene, it may be recorded the video. It's a long shot and a close shot based on the identifications of the videographing. So now we see about there is a golden rule in the crime scene investigation. So what are the major golden rule in the crime scene investigation? We have to think about there is a don't touch or don't change, alter anything until it has been identified or measured and photographed. This is one of the major golden rule follow of any investigator before he enter in the crime scene. They must understand about that is a rule we have to proceed in the crime scene. Here we can see that one of the most important law about the low courts law. I already mentioned in the first part about the first principle about the low courts. That means the principle of action. It is not possible to come in contact with an environment without changing it. There is a basic understanding about the low courts law. It's given by the Edmund Law Court. Now we see about the first process about the collection of evidence. The collection of evidence is one of the most important aspects of the and challenging aspect of the investigation officer or the forensic expert or officers in the crime scene. First, we think about there is a authorization and documentation of the collection of evidence in the crime scene. So here we need to obtain the legal manner and relevant the issue and evaluated by the qualified expert. This is one of the most important things for the authorization. So forensic evidence collection must be conducted by the authorized personnel, law enforcement official, and trained forensic expert. So these are the three people only allowed to collect the evidences. So based on the collection of evidence, there is a need for documentation. The documentation we saw before, there's a photographs, notes, chain of custody of records, authenticity and admissibility of evidences in the code. These are the basic understanding about the collection of evidences. We see there is a picture here where the coach of crime scene is potential in the biological evidence. You no need to take the entire coach. So you maybe cut out and particular which one you need, then we take it in the laboratory and we may use the collection of the biological material. So based on that, we can see about one of the most important thing is chain of custody of the physical evidences. It's nothing but is a thing we can understand the chronological order of the collection of evidences from the crime scene, or is a from the police officer or the experts, the forensic expert, collected from the evidences from the crime scene until it will be produced before the court. The chain will be properly maintained. That means the order, you have to careful documentation of the evidences, you have to clearly mention the FIR number, the date, police station, and the officer, the date, time of collection, what are the item and descriptions, the nature of the evidences you are collected in the crime scene, victim name, location, the item found, name and signature of the officer who collected the evidences. This is the context of the chain of custody. You have to understand about that one. And second one is witness in the collection of evidences. The presence of witness and evidence collection helps validate the process and prevent tampering any allegations. This is one of the important aspects the investigating officers they have to follow. Search warrants and warrant required for the collection of evidences. The expectations such as consent searches, important urgent circumstances. Sometimes it's not expected. Exceptions may be. no need to for any uh, warrant for the search. What are the basic rule for the collect evidence? So here, collections of every article remotely, not sure, locations and time. So here you can say each and every article is most important. So note the source, location, and time. Use separate container and carry fingerprints, identification marks, direct on the evidence, and there is a indirect evidences marking. For example, direct evidences you may be right on the particular weapons. It may be not distract, or it may be careful to write on the particular evidences what we collect. And the indirect may be it may be put in the packet and we may be tagged. Sometimes it may be challenged the other officers or intentionally or accidentally it may be removed or erased. And exhibits may be avoid alterations and contaminations and mutilations. These are the basic rules where to collect the evidences from the crime scenes. Learners, procedure to follow the collect the physical evidences of the crimes. So there is a things we have to understand here. The pillbox type of containers, the containers must be taken to the crime scene. Envelopes, we have to collect the materials like a hair, any other nail bedding, any finger weights, any other fibers, we maybe take it, put it in the envelopes and folder using papers, thermos, clean containers, plastic vials, jars, collect hairs, bullets, blood and organs for the plastic. You can use that one. Plastic bags for the organs, clothing and larger articles for the larger plastic for dead bodies, and avoid excessive handling of the evidences. These are the things we have to follow in the some physical evidence. Examination of evidences. Here you can see in examination of evidences, the forensic laboratories, there's an examination place. The forensic examiners can have specialized laboratories, either qualified experts, they have to examine the evidences. In the way of scientific research, they may be understand and they may be apply the method techniques with analyzing the evidences like DNA testing, fingerprint analysis, and ballistics. Expert opinions. The findings of the forensic examinations are presented. Expert opinions in the court. And the experts are maybe cross-examined, re-examined by the counsel to ensure the reliability of the findings. Here are other important aspects of the health and the safety consideration. The chemicals, before we go to that, the crime scene, the investigator or the experts, the scientific expert, they have to careful consideration of the chemical. The case of clandestine or secret laboratories used the part of investigations. They have to careful on that one. Unexploded explosives and firearms, fire and bombing scenes, environmental factors like animals attack, heat, cold, forest, these are the things. And insecure environment, often maybe presence or any other depth areas or any other what we call forest areas and other risks include the sharp objects, radiological, electrical risks, and other gases. These are possible evidences collected from the crime scene. Fingerprints, bite marks, broken fingernails, question documents, blood and body fluids, firearms and tool marks, shoe prints, tire marks. These are possible things we can collect from the crime scenes. These are the materials in the forensic laboratory. The investigators, they may be used to collect the uh, evidences, the physical evidences from the crime scenes. And there is a baggage. Each and every items we have to write down. The chain of custody bag is a procedure. They have to fill and everything. Now come to the final point is a legal contest. The Indian Constitution 1950 explain about each and every contest about it around the witness and that other testimony oriented. So here you can see about no one is compelled to be the witness against himself, Article 20. And until that the law, that means the proven is guilty, the accused may be the innocent. And there is no any that means totally against the fundamental right about the self-accusation and the protects against the forcible testimony of any witness is given the Indian Constitution And Indian Evidence Act 1872 is explained about section 61 to 90 deal with the completely documentary evidences. And section 73 is explained about the empowers the court to direct any person, including the accused, to allow his finger impression to be taken. Section 45 to 51 deals about the forensic expert is considered as an opinion tendered by the experts. Criminal Procedure Code 1976 explain about the section 253 and 164 deals about the collection of evidence by the police officer or by the magistrate in the crime scenes. They allowing for that collection of evidence. Section 53 provides on the arrest and accused person may subject to the medical examination. Section 164 given that woman alleges a rape victim within 24 hours and examination include DNA profiling of the woman. So these are the basic Indian context about that one. So here we can see the legal process in Indian court of law. There is admissibility. Evidence must be meet all the legal standards for the admissibility. Expert witness. Forensic experts may be called as a witness to testify about their findings. They are subject to examination and cross-examination. Reports and documentation. Forensic reports dealing analysis and the findings are subjected to the court as evidences. So here the legal evidences we can see about the Indian Evidence Act 1872 governs the admissibility of the evidences in the Indian courts. The legal standards for the evidence acceptance vary based on the type of case and nature of the evidence. Here there's the four important things in the legal context about the legal process in the court of law: admissibility of the evidences, expert witness, report and documentation, and legal standards. So now I come to the conclusions. I conclude the point. Any questions, please send me your questions to my the comment box. I am ready to happy to reply you. So thank you so much, and also I am happy to discuss with you. I hope you are enjoy this insightful session with you. Thank you for your patient listening. Thank you once again. Dear learners, hope you learn the part B session is highly insightful, and to understand then what are the basic methods to following the collection, preservation, documentation and transportation of forensic evidence from the crime scene, and what are the major laws and the legal aspects of the forensic evidences. I hope it will be highly motivate to you learn. Learners, the part A and part B module will be give the basic fundamental ideas on the forensic science, forensic evidences, and how forensic evidences link with other subjects and integrating knowledge, and what are the methods and procedures to follow the collection, preservation, documentation, and transportation of the forensic evidences from the crime scene to the laboratory, and how it will be applicable admissibility in the court of law. I hope the learners may be motivated through this module. I really appreciate those who are learned to listen and getting insightful knowledge through this part A and part B. We will be soon to the next module in another way of forensic science in the different areas. If you have any doubts, clarification, please mail me. I will definitely happy to reply you. I wish you all the best. Thank you one and all again.